guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Tania Bright. I am a student astrologer and a tarot reader. And in today's video, we are going to be doing your May 2020 month ahead readings, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about some astrological events going on in the month of May. If you've already seen this part of the video, go ahead and fast forward to your tarot reading. I will be linking a timestamp down below or on the screen somewhere in case you want to fast forward to it. My tarot readings are always timeless, and this one is going to resonate with your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. A lot of you ask, which placement do I watch for? Watch for all 4 placements, and whatever readings resonates, will resonate, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So quick disclaimer before I get into the astrology portion, I am still a student when it comes into astrology. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to teach. I am simply just going to mention and broadly talk about these events just so you know what's going on this month, and if you want to look further into it, then you can. But for month ahead readings, I feel like it's really important that we talk about what is going on astrologically. So by the middle of May, we are going to have 4 planets going retrograde. We already have Pluto going retrograde. That started April 24th. And then the next planet to go retrograde, I believe, is Saturn. Let me double check. Okay, and then the next planet we're going to have retrograde is Saturn. It's going retrograde in Capricorn on May 11th. Soon after that, we're going to have Venus going retrograde in Gemini May 13th. And then literally the next day, we're going to have Jupiter going retrograde in Capricorn May 14th. So lots of retrogrades going on. We also have the super moon on the 7th in Scorpio, and that is going to be a big, intense energy. So what retrogrades do is it forces us to look inward. Retrogrades are a period of reflection, perfecting things, reviewing things. So I feel like this month is really going to be about solidifying ourselves and starting to sort of settle into our own energies. I feel like, April and all of the previous months, we were going through purges, we were going through transformations, we were losing a lot, gaining a lot. We were going through major pivot points. And now I think it's kind of time to reflect on everything we've gone through, everything we've learned. I feel like we're coming into Taurus season with more of a knowing, an inner knowing, knowing what we want, knowing what we don't want, knowing what we have, knowing what we don't have. And we didn't have that pleasure in April or any of the previous months. So that's what kind of gives this season a step up, is we've learned so much. So let's talk about the Venus in Gemini retrograde. That one is super notorious because it's also being squared it is also being squared Neptune in Pisces. So then you have Venus, the planet of values, beauty, creation. It's about romance, pleasure, partnerships, art. And that energy is being flavored by Gemini. Gemini is also very social and playful. It's the planet of intellectual, logical thinking. It's a planet of communication, both written, verbal, however we want to communicate. It's also the sign of duality. It's the sign of socials. It kind of rules social media along with Aquarius. I like to say Gemini rules it too as well. So what I think this combination of energies is going to do is with Gemini here, it's going to allow us to communicate, to vocalize what we're thinking and feeling, which we struggled with as a collective. I feel like a lot of us were struggling with throat chakra, and this Gemini energy really comes in and uplifts that struggle. So I feel like a lot of us are going to, since Venus is going retrograde, we're going to be having honest internal conversations with ourselves about what we truly do value, how we look at ourselves and how much we value ourselves and other people, and kind of what is the pecking order, what is the list of importance, in terms of the people around us, the materials we have, ourselves. I feel like we're really going to start to file that and categorize that and figure out what's important to us and what's not. Venus also rules desires, so I feel like a lot of us are going to uncover what it is that we truly desire out of life, and we're going to have sort of an honest conversation with ourselves about whether or not we are on track to getting that, to making that happen? You know, are we actually doing what we love, or are we, you know, doing something because of the money? Are we doing something because of, you know, material gains? Which I'm noticing with the energy, money and the value of it is kind of like decreasing a little. Like, you know, we're not spending as much as we used to because we're not going out anymore. We're starting to save a lot more. Like, I feel like money is starting to become less of like a luxury thing, because to some extent with quarantine, a lot of like our luxuries, especially when going out, you know, got taken away from us. So I feel like the value of money, you know, we were sort of, and I was talking about this in my previous video, we were in a position where we wanted more and more and more, and ever since quarantine happened, we're kind of like just okay with what we need. And I feel like that still rings true throughout the month of May. And for most of May, we are going to be in Taurus season, and Taurus also deals with finances and material gains and losses. So I still see some of us going to struggle with that. I still see some of us are going to, you know, be dealing with money loss, or just changing maybe how we make our money. I can see that being a theme throughout the month of May. Now, Venus is also the planet of creativity, and Gemini is the planet of, Gemini is the sign of, you know, handiwork, doing things with our hands. It's also a creative energy as well. It's highly, highly creative, very, very intelligent. So I feel like a lot of us are going to get crafty, get smart about our resources, get creative about, you know, our money, and really learning how to use that to its utmost value. Maybe even get creative on ways to bring in more income. I see a lot of us maybe even diving into hobbies more, because Gemini rules hobbies. So I see a lot of us diving into our hobbies and learning how to profit off them, learning how to make money off them. So I see, you know, artists, you know, learning how to sell their art, promote their art, you know, getting smart when it comes to that, because Gemini is also a salesman. It's salesman energy. Like, Gemini knows how to talk you into whatever it wants. So another aspect that definitely plays into like sort of money and finances is the Jupiter and Pluto conjunction. We have Jupiter, which rules expansion, but we have Pluto, which rules debt. So when you put those combinations together, we can kind of see like maybe global debts, or people sort of like getting in trouble for their debts. I would handle your financial situation as much as possible this month. I would really try to knock those out. Now, another thing I think is super interesting is there's sort of like this spiritual aspect to the Jupiter and Pluto conjunction, because Jupiter rules, you know, higher knowledge, higher wisdom, gurus, teachers, spirituality, and we have Pluto, which is wanting to know more, wanting to dig deeper. So I see there is a spiritual awakening sort of going on with the collective. I see a lot more people getting into tarot and astrology. And I also feel like because quarantine happened and our world sort of it shook up a bit, and it drastically changed so fast, people turned to spirituality for answers, because there really is an energy of like power to the people here. We have like a lot of Gemini and Aquarius energy going on here, and like I said, those signs rule the internet. So I feel that there's a lot of power here with the internet. There's a lot of power here when you make a YouTube video or you post a tarot card reading or whatever. You reach a lot of people, you influence a lot of people. And I feel like if you are going to be an influencer or a guru or a teacher or astrologer, tarot reader, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're going to be doing that, I feel like it's important that we spread a message that is optimistic. I feel like it's important that we spread the message of, you know, raising the like vibrational energy here as a collective. There's a YouTuber who, I think her name's like Pam Gregory or something like that. I'll leave her YouTube link down below, but she has a book where she talks about how you can actually measure someone's thoughts. All right, so that's what like the idea of manifestation is that, you know, what we are internalizing and thinking, you know, we can actually project out. Now with quarantine, we have a lot of us sort of like being, you know, in close like proximity to a lot of other people, so we're very much affected by their energy and they're very much affected by ours. So I feel like it's really important that we're having like a sense of awareness of what we are projecting out. Be aware of the energies you put out, and so that way we can work better as a collective and we can try to raise ourselves as a collective, because there is also this energy of like a blank canvas here, and that energy has been there since the beginning of the year when we had all of those time resets. We're sort of like in a position right now where we're creating like a whole new like era almost, you know what I mean? We have a lot of like social structures and government structures crashing right now, and when something crashes, you know, we have to rebuild. Tower moment in tarot, when it crashes, you got to rebuild a stronger, firmer foundation. So I almost feel like the collective is going through like their own major tower moment. I see 2020 as like this giant tower moment, but I'm not gonna get too into that, okay? I'm gonna keep it very broad and general, because then this video would be hours long. Alright, so let's talk about the supermoon in Scorpio. So full moons and supermoons, they have this energy of like endings, completion, because it's the moon cycle completing itself. So it's this energy of, you know, closing those doors, laying things to rest, but it can also have the energy of like shedding light on situations we might not know about, because the moon sheds light on darkness. So when we have a supermoon, it means that the moon is closer to Earth in proximity and it becomes really big, and that means its energy can be felt more, its energy is a lot more amplified. But when we have a supermoon in a water sign, more specifically Scorpio, that energy is extra emotional and intense, because Scorpio is a sign of intensity. So with this supermoon, I see a lot of secrets sort of coming up to surface, because Scorpio rules like hidden areas of life. So this, you know, this might not have to be like a scandalous secret, but it could be like secrets within the self, parts of ourselves that we didn't really know, or parts of ourselves that were kind of like taboo, you know, we start to recognize with this supermoon energy. Now supermoons also have to be about release, so whatever surfaces, we need to let go, all right? Because then we start the new moon cycle, and we want to be starting fresh. We want to handle the problems that actually come to light during the supermoon. I see issues of trust here as well, because Scorpio energy always struggles with trust and loyalty and betrayal. Those are major themes for Scorpio energy. So I see a lot of us sort of dealing with who we trust and who trusts us, and you know, can I rely on this person? Can I not rely on this person? Is this person loyal to me? Am I loyal to them? I can see us having that conversation during the supermoon. Now, another thing that Pam Gregory talks about is how Scorpio's ancient ruler is Mars, okay? So Scorpio energy does not flinch. It's very similar to Aries energy, where it's like, I need to make this happen. The thing that the supermoon might give us is hyper focus, because Scorpio has the ability to literally focus all of its energy on its goal and be so diligent and so fixated on its goal that it will not give up, it will not release until it has completed it. So I feel like a lot of us are going to have drive. A lot of us are going to, you know, want to make a plan, want to get things done, and I really love that, you know, as it goes hand in hand with like people starting up new businesses and people diving into their creative hobbies. So I kind of like that energy for the month of May. So the last thing I also want to talk about is Venus being squared Neptune in Pisces. So it's interesting because it's also in Gemini. Gemini is the energy of logical thinking, of knowing, and then we have it squared Neptune, which is and Pisces, which is the energy of like delusion, imagination, the spirit world. Think like 12th house energy, where it's like the part in the brain that's so deep in the subconscious that it's hard to bring it forward. So I feel like with these two energies, we're going to sort of go through this period. It's like where we know, and we understand it, and then we don't know, and we don't understand it. And especially when Venus is in retrograde, I feel like we're going to struggle a lot with what is true. I almost see like the Venus energy is like a plane going through a cloud, and it's like when it's, you know, in this cloud and it's especially squared Neptune, it's like clouded energy we can't see. We can't fully understand. It's like I can't see the big picture. And then as soon as it ends and it exits the cloud, then it's like boom, awakening moment, oh, epiphany moment, oh, I finally understand. I see us sort of going back and forth with those energies like throughout the retrograde. I see us sort of like having this understanding, thinking that we get it, and then not freaking getting it at all, and then having epiphanies, and then understanding a little bit more, only to find out the more we know, the less we know type energy. That's kind of what I pick up on. Astrologers like to say this is not the time to make major changes, major decisions, and that's because you don't want to make a decision when you're on a plane in a cloud, you know what I mean? You don't want to make a decision when you don't have all of the information. You don't want to make a decision when you aren't seeing the full bigger picture yet. And of course, that's not to say you can't, you know, make that move, or you can't, you know, make that big change. I think it's just, I think the message here is more about just being cautious and making sure that you are doing any type of research, any type of investigative work needed in order to properly make that decision. So the last theme that I want to mention is the theme of heart chakra. There's this YouTuber that I absolutely adore, and I love to watch his YouTube channel, Esoteric Healing. He did a video about healing throughout May and how we've sort of moved from like heart chakra from throat chakra down to heart chakra, and now the collective is sort of struggling with that. So there could be feelings of like anxieties, sadness, like heavy just feelings in the heart chakra right now. And when the heart chakra is affected, Sky was talking about how our crown chakra, our thoughts also get affected. The two go hand in hand, heart, feelings, and thoughts, right? So I feel what's important here is as our heart and our feelings are going through these waves of ups and downs, that we take care of the heart chakra. We keep our mind strong and leveled. It's really, really important that you do that, otherwise you might get lost in like all of the ups and downs and the chaotic energy that's going on within your feelings. When dealing with, you know, all these emotions, I really recommend capitalizing on all that Gemini energy that we have, especially that Venus energy, sort of like turn that pain into art. Write it out. You can write poetry, write stories, write whatever, but Gemini rules like written communication, so write out how you feel. I also see a lot of us speaking publicly on how we feel, and I see that being very therapeutic, not only to, you know, yourself for releasing it, but also to other people for hearing it. Because Gemini isn't just about talking, it's about listening as well. Talking about things publicly really just brings us together a bit as a collective, and it helps us connect a bit more. I see a huge, just like, how do I say this? Like I'm seeing in my head, like I see a huge like spike almost in internet connections and socializing on the internet, and that being a lot more acceptable, especially because of quarantine. It's kind of the only way we can socialize, but I see that staying true for many years to come after this. Alright, that's kind of all I have to say. Like I said, I wanted to keep it super broad. If you want to dive into any of these events, I will be listing them in the description box down below. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the tarot portion of this video. What's up, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? Welcome to your tarot reading. So, as usual, we are going to be pulling some oracle cards, tarot cards for the week to week, and then confirmation cards. But this time around, we're also going to be pulling some mini tarot to see what gift Venus is going to bring you this month. Because as you know, Venus loves to gift people, and we have that retrograde going. So, we're going to pull some oracle cards. Let's just jump right into it. I'm really excited to see how the water signs are doing this month. Or sorry, not water signs. Fire signs are doing this month. Woo! Deception and envy. First one. Sagittarius. I was going to say, for all of the fire signs, like deception and envy is like a huge thing for fire and water. Y'all have been pulling that this month. But for Sagittarius in particular, I'm really feeling that energy. I think y'all got like a lot of like hidden enemies, like enemies you don't know of yet, and I'm hoping like the super moon's gonna bring that out. But I also feel like you guys cut off a lot of people, and that's also why there's like this deception and envy, because people are like feeling that like you ain't feeling them anymore, you know what I mean? So I say it's more so like evil eye. And I see for a lot of like the people that have evil eye towards you, it's subconscious. And I was saying that about the earth signs too. I feel like it's subconscious evil eye. Like these people don't know they're jealous of you, and or like, ooh, look at that throat chakra popping out. My water signs were dealing with throat chakra all year. Now they're down to the heart chakra, and I feel like fire signs, y'all are now on the throat chakra. But I see a lot of good cards here as well. Let's see what we got. I want to see this energy. So we got deception and envy, victory and success, throat chakra. Oof. I feel like this is, we'll get into that later. I'll talk about that one later. We have triumphant success, which is good. You know, those people who are deceptive and envious of you, I don't think they're going to succeed with their evil eye. Accelerated motion, I like that for y'all. Obstacles and challenges, but that's fine because you got victory and success with it. Mental conflict, awareness, and then financial material changes. I really feel that for Sagittarius as well. I want to pull 2 more oracles. I'm feeling 2 more need to come out. Hang on now. Ooh. Okay, whatever. 3 more came out. But look at this. We got temptation, power, the waiting game. Damn, everybody's pulling this waiting game card. I feel like it's this, like this month is not so much of a month of action, but more so like you waiting to see like what actions you took the last month like play out. That's kind of how I see it. Let's talk about that throat chakra card, that mental conflict. It's funny that, you know, Sagittarius is pulling the throat chakra, because I feel like for the beginning of the year, y'all were pretty good on throat chakra, and now we're in Taurus season. Taurus rules throat, and now y'all are like struggling, and Sagittarius is one of those signs that needs to speak about how it feels. It needs to communicate that with other people. It needs to tell people what it's thinking and what it believes in. It needs to speak its truth. When a Sagittarius isn't out here speaking its truth, y'all really suffer mentally. And what do we have, you know, accompanying that? Mental conflict. So whatever it is that you're having a hard time speaking on, Sagittarius, just, if you can communicate it, communicate it. If you can't, you know, there are other ways to release it. Release it with like writing it down and burning it, or release it with like, you know, through your craft or something like that. But if y'all could speak about it, that's the best way. So I would suggest writing it down, poetry, some type of communication needs to happen. Go talk to your friends about it, whatever. And I like that the power card kind of like accompanies that. And we also have Leo in this, you know, card, your fellow fire sign. I feel like with this power card here, it's kind of like your biggest power right now is your voice. So if you let people quiet you, you know, you're going to be struggling with power. You're going to feel real powerless this month. So be using your voice, Sagittarius. Something that's I really like too is that we have the deception, envy, accelerated motion, and financial material changes. This tells me what makes people like envious of y'all is your success, is your growth. I see that a lot of y'all Sagittarius last month in Aries season, your fellow fire sign, I feel like y'all took a lot of actions, made a lot of moves, and y'all are seeing the growth and the rewards of it this month, and it's making people jealous. It's making people envious. But I don't see that getting to y'all. Something I think is interesting is we have obstacles, challenges, victory, success with a waiting game. I feel like this is y'all waiting for your rewards, waiting for, you know, I'm getting tongue twisted. Ooh, waiting to reap the rewards. You see how that's hard to say? But I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like these obstacles and challenges is kind of like letting you know, like, you know, you might have hiccups. You might, especially if this is like a career move that you made, which I think it is because there's a lot of financial material changes. You might have some hiccups, but y'all will come out of it okay. So, like, keep your mindset strong because, like, we have this mental conflict card here with these power struggles. I feel like these little hiccups can really get to y'all. And Sagittarius, even though y'all don't really, like, speak on that, I feel like y'all do let things get to you sometimes, you know? So don't let any type of hiccups throw you off or make you think that you're not capable of getting done what you need to get done, or, you know, you're not capable of reaching the goals you want to reach. You can, all right? Because you have that victory and success card here. And the waiting game kind of tells me, like, this is all in timing. Like, it all is going down the way it has to go down. So just trust it. And then we have temptation, awareness, and triumphant success. So I feel like y'all are just going to be tested. That's kind of how I see it. It's kind of like y'all, you know, are manifesting. I can hella feel y'all manifesting really good stuff for you. Lots of success. Lots of, like, you know, progression in life. So I feel like universe, before it hands you that, is going to see, you know, are you really in it for the right reasons? Do you really want this? That's what I see this temptation card is. So I think it might throw you an obstacle that might steer you away from the path you want. And it's going to be a real tempting, you know, offer. But y'all need to sit with that before you make a decision and decide for yourself. As in picking up on crossroads energy, you know, decide for yourself which one's right for me. There's almost like a sacrifice that has to be made here, but when you look at it from another perspective, it's not much of a sacrifice because you never had it to begin with. Does that make sense? So we'll see if tarot clarifies any of that. Let's go ahead and pull the tarot cards. Okay. So for my tarot cards, all of the cards are in the upright position. Ooh, that Seven of Swords sticks out so much, Sagittarius. I don't know what is with the energy in the collective, but there's a lot of deceitfulness going on. I think there's a lot of deceitfulness going on because there's a lot of people changing, growing, and ascending, and a lot of people who aren't. Because before I get into, like, the tarot spread, one thing I noticed about the beginning half of this month, the first, like, 3 months, was that you are setting yourself up for the long run. So you either set yourself up to, like, have a very progressive, transformative year, or you set yourself up to have, like, a really down, hard, like, I'm trying to crawl out of this hole type year. So that, I think, why is there's a level of people who are trying to ascend, progress, and are doing good, and then there's people who have, you know, evil eye out here and who are being deceptive and don't want to see people succeed because they ain't succeeding themselves. My gosh. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the week to week for Sagittarius. First week for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, please. Ooh, look at that. Okay. I'm going to deal the whole spread out, and then I'll get into the... Ooh, that's your second week. Look at all that major arcana going on. Hangman, Magician. All right. Third week, Sagittarius. Ooh! I'm sorry, getting so... I might be getting so hyped every time, but it's because, like, look at that. 4 major arcana straight. 4 major arcana straight. And I love that. Oh, my God. 5 major... This is a big month for y'all, Sagittarius. This is a big, big, big month for y'all. Queen of Cups. Bottom deck, Ace of Pentacles. Since this is a big month for y'all, I might pull some extras. But let's go through this spread first. Oh my God, my heart's beating so fast. Let me try and make it straight. Hang on. Because I'm charging my phone, so it's like a little crooked because the charger is going to get squished if it's not a little crooked. But it'd be crooked anyways. I never get shit straight. Anyway, y'all's energy is so strong with this 5 major arcana straight. Knight of Swords with 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This is, listen, this, I think, is trying to tell y'all to not be rushing into stuff, to not be, you know, trying to push for progression, because what I see is that y'all's manifestations are coming true. Y'all's businesses are going off, you're getting the person you want, you're ascending, you're feeling good about yourself, y'all are manifesting. It's coming to fruition. But I see y'all wanting to take the ball and run with it. This is not the time to take the ball and run with it. This is your time to sit and receive. Just sit and receive, Sagittarius. Alright? And I see that if y'all try to push, for success to come faster, like, y'all are going to actually mess with, like, the flow and the timing of things. I feel like that's why the waiting game card is here, is because the timing of things is important. And that might be what's tempting too. It's tempting to take the ball and run with it. It's tempting to, like, see, you want to see your success kind of like snowball, right? But what happens, with a snowball is it gets too big too quick, and it starts to run into things and crash and all that type of stuff. And that's what I can see happening here. So take your time. Your first week is for y'all to sit and receive your rewards, and for y'all to perfect what you're already doing, which means, paying attention to the little details. Make sure your products are up to par. Make sure that your website's, like, snatched. Make sure that, like, if y'all are, like, tarot readers, which I know a lot of y'all are, make sure, your booking forms are organized. Like, get your business, like, organized. And if y'all are making enough money, this is a big ass message. If y'all are making enough money, make sure you're paying your taxes with it. Alright? Don't be doing no illegal shit like that. So I feel like your first week is for y'all to kind of, like, get that done. Now your second week is, that's interesting. Y'all got the Magician with the Hangman. So the Magician is about y'all having everything you need. And I told y'all you were manifesting this month. And I feel like the Magician card is one of the cards that confirms manifestations, because it's like the magic. You know what I mean? It's like the how do I say this? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a magician, so it's magic. So I feel like, and it's the only card in the deck where it has the pentacles, the cups, the swords, the rods, everything. So I feel like this is trying to say, like, y'all are, like, in a good spot right now. But you might not see that. And the reason why I say you might not see that is because the Hangman is here. And the Hangman's telling y'all to sort of change your perspective and kind of see that you have enough for right now, and that there will be a time to push forward. But I think right now is your time to sort of enjoy what you have. Okay? Because it's kind of like, I had like a saying in my head and it just slipped out. Give me a second to just try to, like, remember what I was trying to say. The word gratitude keeps popping up in my head. Kind of like y'all need to sort of, like, I feel like a success happened kind of quick for Sagittarius, or some type of change happened some kind of quick. This is one message I'm getting, is it might not feel like success to y'all, but it is. And that rings in my ear, that gives me chills. It's like, it doesn't feel like it's success for y'all, but it is. I feel like there's a level of stress that's coming in with Sagittarius, or anxieties or pressure that's self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted anxiety, stress, and pressure, and it's causing y'all to not be able to enjoy the blessings you have received, the manifestations that are coming to fruition right now. And that's your second week. Your second week is going to be working through that. Now you have your third week, you have Strength and the Empress. What this kind of tells me is that y'all are going to have, like, these new ideas, these creative ideas, and I think y'all are going to be very nurturing as well to those ideas, and I think that's good, okay? Because I know I was talking about the first half, like, don't act on them, but, that doesn't mean your third week you can't be planning for the future. So kind of like what I see is, like, take this month to get everything right, get everything in order, but you can also be planning for June, July, August. What does that look like for you? Where do you want to be? That's kind of what I see y'all doing that mid-month. It's kind of like working through these pressures, anxieties, and stress, and kind of like, trying to calm down from that. and then your third week starting to just, you know, make a detailed plan about what you should get done next. I also see with the Strength card, I feel like this has to do with like deception. I feel like it's just about y'all not letting that get in the way, not letting that be an obstacle, not letting that ruin things for y'all. Because this is like what I see is there's so much to enjoy, but it's like there's also so much shit tainting the joy, and it don't gotta taint it. Okay, and then we have the fourth week, we have the Fool with the Queen of Cups. So fourth week, like I said, I think this is when y'all get to finally grab that, you know, ball and get it rolling. Your fourth week, I see June being a huge month for everybody. And I see like your fourth week is when y'all get to put these ideas into action finally, or y'all get to make that move you've been contemplating on making the entire month. One thing I'm getting from this message, Sag, is work from a place of love. Work from a place of love. Like work because you want to work. Work because you love what you're doing. Work because you're passionate about it. Work because it's fun for you. Try to bring that into work. I see that like a lot of y'all lost kind of love for what you do because of all the stressors that's going on right now. And that's not why you started what you started, Sagittarius. So that's kind of what I see going on this month. Let's go ahead and pull some confirmation cards. Yo, ooh, look at this one. Conclusions are within reach. Luck is on your side, new moon Sagittarius. I love that confirmation for y'all. I want one more to come out. Let's let one more come out. Ooh, there it is. I love that. Okay, so then we have confidence is key. Look at all this Leo energy coming through with this reading. I feel, first of all, that makes me super excited to read Leos for anybody who's a Sag Leo here. But I feel like y'all gotta embody the Leo energy more of believing in yourself. The Leo energy of being confident. Again, we have confidence is key. The Leo energy of like, you know, you don't gotta roar for everyone to know you a lion. It's that type of energy. You don't gotta be out here, you know, trying to be anybody else. You don't gotta be out here trying to prove nothing. You don't gotta, you know, I feel like with Sag, there's like this stress of like, I don't want people to not believe in me. I don't want people to think I am fake. I don't want people to feel let down by me. Like there's like this pressure that comes from what other people think, where it's like that, you know, if y'all just walk your walk, nobody is going to think nothing of y'all because you deserve to be where you're at. And that's just the truth. And y'all got to know that about yourselves so that way you stop trying to prove your spot when you already got your spot, Sagittarius. All right. We got luck is on your side. I love that card because that's y'all's card. Y'all are like the sign of good luck. And I feel this is like kind of like telling y'all, like the universe is trying to say like, I got your back. I got your back. Whatever it is that you think you're lacking is going to come to you. Whatever it is that like you think, you know, is helping you or not helping you, hindering you is going to get casted away. Like universe got you. You're protected. You protected. And then we have conclusions are within reach. I feel like that is like closure. Not like conclusions on all types of things. Closure, you know, who's deceptive, who's not, all that kind of shit gonna come to conclusion. Y'all are gonna like have an understanding of where you're at and where you gotta go. But y'all can easily get, you know, clouded too. Alright, we got retrograde going on this month. Clouded energy is a big thing. So it's really important that, you know, we're kind of staying grounded and in tune with ourselves and incorporating some type of like, you know, routine or ritual that helps us do that. So let's go ahead and see what, let me just make sure this is upright. Hold up. Okay, it's just this bottom card. Alright. Yep, it's just the bottom card. So I just wanted to make sure that the cards were in the upright position. So they are. Falls in reverse, falls in reverse. All right, let's give it a little bit of a shuffle. Okay. What gift do you have for Sagittarius? Ooh, that fell real quick. Let's see, y'all's gift is Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is, you know, new emotional experiences. And it usually tends to be beautiful ones. It usually tends to be love, but it's not always love. It could mean creativity. It could just mean, you know, prosperity. It's positive, you know, at the end of the day, it's positive, new emotional experiences. It's kind of like the cup's full. It's that type of energy. And I feel like y'all, that's kind of like what I was saying, where it's like y'all already have all these blessings and good things coming, but y'all need to see it. And I feel like your blessing is that you see it. You know what I mean? Your blessing is that you see it, and because you see it, you can accept it and be ready to manifest the next thing and accept the next thing and move forward in that type of way. But I feel like a lot of you are going to also run into like connections or deepen already existing connections that are really beautiful. All right? And I love that for y'all, Sag. Damn, this is a good reading. It's a good reading, which I'm happy to see, because I asked y'all how you doing on Twitter, and a lot of y'all said you weren't doing okay, but this is kind of telling you, like, you are okay. You just got to change that perspective, Sagittarius. All right, thank you for watching. Comment down below if you're a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, and if this resonated with you. Follow me on Twitter for more tarot posts, astrology posts, all types of posts. It's 18 plus only, though. And yeah, the next time I talk to y'all, I'm probably going to be doing your love reading. So subscribe to this channel and turn that bell on so you know when I post readings. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.